Okay, welcome to our client appreciation call. I want to thank all of you guys for joining us for our call. And this is one of the great things about our program is that we get to have community and support. And so this call really is to kind of help build that so that if you have questions or need support or whatever, we're going to be doing this call every Thursday night at 6 o'clock. And the idea is that we're going to have coaches and leaders asking some of their clients to share their own story. So it won't be just listening to me for the whole time. It's really going to be a community event. So a little bit about me. Basically, before Optavia, I was a very frustrated and stressed out mom and wife. I had 4 kids. I still have 4 kids. And I was a very big emotional eater. So all the stress of that family stuff was basically how I managed all that stuff. So when I found Optavia, my husband lost 70 pounds and I lost 40. But I tell everyone that the big miracle is that I kept that weight off. And it really is because of this program and our community, the healthy habits that I've learned. And it's blessed my life so incredibly much that I just love paying it forward and sharing with other people. So I'm excited that we're doing this call because it really is, you know, the blessing of being able to share that with everyone. So I actually have our first speaker is going to share her story, what Optavia has kind of helped bless her life. So Cindy, I'm going to have you go ahead and unmute yourself and share your story with Optavia.
There, now you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, hi, I'm Cindy, and Sherry and Nancy both asked me to share a little bit about what my life was before, some of my successes I've had, and where I am right now. And before Optavia, I was a mess. I was a yo-yo dieter, like lots of you guys probably are, but it was a diet. And then after the diet was gone, there was no other help or any support. So I go back to old habits. I kind of gave up after doing, I think, every book diet there was. And, you know, I was obese, I was depressed, I was stressed. So I got rid of the stress, quit my job, retired. That didn't do it. I still wasn't very good. Every time I went to the doctor, I'd have a new health issue. I, you know, had a fatty liver, medical problems, tremors, Crohn's disease, you name it, they kept giving it to me and I didn't like it. And I didn't like having to take all those pills. So what did I do? I self-medicated. I took Advil PM to sleep and I had a couple glasses of wine every night, which isn't real good for a fatty liver. And what had happened is it all spiraled to where I was hospitalized for 2.5 months. My body basically shut down. And I'm lucky I came back because it told me I would probably not live. But I did, and I'm here and vowed that I'd make some changes. So we moved out of where I was living and moved out to Beaumont, California, where I live now. And started looking online, thinking, okay, what's new? What can I do that's going to help me? Just diet. Well, then my friend Nancy Thompson was on Facebook and I noticed that she'd lost some weight and talked about this change that she had made both inside and outside and how it's changed her life and she's so much happier. So I'm thinking, okay, I've got to look up this Optavia thing. That, okay, you get to eat 6 times a day and you get a free coach and it's easy to follow and you have rapid weight loss. So that was my thinking first going in. And then I talked with Nancy and I got my kit and started on the 5-in-1. But as I was going through Optavia, I realized it's a lot more than just a diet. It's a lifestyle change. I found that it has, your good eating has to do with the learning to move, to make good behavior changes, to have a better environment, to have a support system. And that was all available to me free with Optavia. And I referred to the book and then Nancy in the beginning, I called her all the time. And the weight came off and I started realizing why I was eating and using food as my addictive tool. And I didn't need to do that and found other things to do. And it's been a godsend because it's been really helpful. I can now get off the floor and play with my grandchildren, which is really nice. Couldn't do that before. I wanted to feel better. I'm sleeping better, and I'm really, truly happy. I've lost 58 pounds, and I've been with Optavia for about a year, and I lost it in about 7.5 months. But that doesn't mean you have to lose it. A lot of people lose it at all different times. I remember I used to get frustrated when I look at some of the posts and going, well, how come they're losing weight and I'm not? And I'm at a plateau. Why am I plateauing if I'm doing everything right? But you have to look beyond that and look at why things are happening for a reason. And that's like looking at the inside of you. So it's not the transformation outside, but it's what happens inside that really does matter when it comes down to it. And that's what keeps you focused. I'm now in maintenance, and my goal right now is balancing my healthy lifestyle. It's easy to get tempted, but I don't. But things are you there? I think I'm still there. But
Yes, you are.
okay, I don't see anybody anymore. But it's been great because I've really learned to look inside of me. The Optavia client resource list. This is wonderful because in maintenance, it even has to journal.
Not a problem.
Real well. This is another thing I like a lot is my portion plate. It's great for measuring out because once you start transitioning, you add in back fruit and your starches, and this helps kind of balance it out. I use it a lot at home. Especially, I weigh it sometimes I don't, and I just use this, and it's a pretty good way to measure it that way. So those are the tools that I'm using. I'm on every day on Facebook talking to people. I'm in several different groups. I talk to Sherry and Nancy quite a bit, and I exchange ideas with people, which is something else that's real helpful. The good and the bad and the ugly, but it's been good, and I've really learned how to be healthy inside and out, and it's a constant learning and growing experience for myself, and that's where I'm at.
Thank you so much, Cindy, for sharing.
You're welcome.
Does anyone have any questions for Cindy for her journey or anything that she shared?
I have a question. So doing Optavia, what do you think has been the biggest monumental thing that Optavia has to offer in order for you to stay, or to get those results, and then obviously to stay on maintenance?
The support. I say the support I get online and through my coaches has been a big, the biggest thing that's kept me focused. It really helps to have that link because if you don't have someone to talk to, if you have a question or you're not feeling real good about something, there's always someone there, or somebody's got, you can click on a link and find an answer to something. You can get a recipe. You can get someone's in maintenance that'll be on maintenance and ask. You can ask the question, they'll give it to you. But that's what keeps me going and staying at goal weight.
So you use your health coach and the Discovering Health Facebook page.
Right, and I use a lean and green page for the recipes, and there's a Steve's group. There's 4 or 5 different groups that I belong to and check in with. So it's all really good. There's a ton of stuff out there that you can get even through Discovery under the little search box. You can search in there and it comes up with a ton of stuff too.
Awesome. Thank you for your commitment.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody else? Question for Cindy? Okay, I have one. What would be the biggest habit that would be an actual life change that's happened for you?
I'm happy. Is that I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess what it means the best to me is when I go places, people say, gosh, you look so good. You look so healthy. What are you doing? You know, that validates a lot of how I feel inside and outside. I think that's the biggest thing. I had a lot of garbage inside of me that affected me with food, and I use food as a way to feel fulfilled. And I don't have to do that anymore. I can actually talk about my feelings, and I can the workbook and stuff there that I haven't done. Because it's funny, you can go back to the book because you've read it, but you haven't read it in depth when you need something. So I hope that answered your question.
Yes, very well. All right. Anyone else? One more question for Cindy? All right. Well, if you have questions, we'll have a little time at the end also. But I do want to introduce our next speaker, and she's actually my Aunt Sarah, which I'm so excited to have her share her story. But one of the really cool things for all of you on here too that you may not realize, but we have people on here from all over the country. So it's so cool because Sarah actually is my aunt that lives in Indiana. So it's really cool that we get to get connected this way. So Sarah, I'm going to have you share your story with us too.
Hey everybody, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, well, like she said, I'm out in Indiana. In fact, I'm getting ready to hit the hay for the night. I'm Sarah Shupert. I've been on the program about a year. A year ago, I was diagnosed with congestive heart disease. And I've already been a diabetic for many years. My blood pressure numbers were going off the charts. I was on oxygen 24/7. As you can see, that's no longer there. But literally, folks, I was killing myself. Through my niece and her husband, you know, I just knew I had to do something. And I had tried diets before. Nothing was working. So I got a hold of Sherry and said, you know, I got to do something. And so I started Optavia. Like I said, I've been on it about a year. I went from 6 shots a day of diabetic medications down to 2. My blood pressure is now great. I still have oxygen at night when I sleep, but very rarely do I have to use it through the day. Some days are better than others. For the most part, I'm pretty much without oxygen through the day. The biggest thing I have found with the program, I have energy. The medications aside, I can move again. I started out at 280 pounds. I'm down about 55 pounds as of this morning. And I feel like doing things again. Like I said, I've lost medications. My numbers have gone way, way down. And it's all because of the program. I know that I'm eating better. I just really feel difference. I sleep better. I don't know what, I'm not a real public speaker, folks. I just know that it works and it's helped me literally save my life. So I'm working on increasing my exercise now that I can move and breathe. And that's exciting for me. I shared with Sherry the other day, I just went on our big family vacation, something I haven't done in years, and was actually responsible for one of my 10-year-old grandchildren. And it's been a while since Grandma's had to take care of a youngin', but I made it all week, and I didn't have to use my oxygen. You know, I was able to move and exercise and keep up with him and go out on the boat and watch him have fun. And it was just a real joy. And I really attribute that to the program and being able to get my life back. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Sarah. Such an inspiration. She's one of my really just favorite stories. And we're all on our journey, and I know this wasn't a total comfort zone for her to share, so I'm just so excited that you are sharing with us tonight. Anybody have a question for Sarah on the call?
If I might. Hi, Sarah.
Yeah.
How are you?
Okay.
Good. The question I have is, you mentioned that you had CHF.
Yeah.
How has that responded to you doing this program? Are you more stable with that, or?
Oh yeah. Every single one of my doctors, the cardiologist, my endocrinologist, they are absolutely thrilled. Yeah, I had to do something immediately because I literally was dying, and I had so much water, much weight on me that this program just instantly, I started seeing major results, and it really got a lot of crap out of me. There's no other way to put it.
Right word.
So
All right. Congratulations. Thank you.
Yes, everything's going in the right direction. So they're thrilled.
Awesome.
And
I had a question.
yes, please.
Okay, Sarah, congratulations. My goodness, 6 shots, and you said you're off of to 2, you said?
Yes, I take 2 shots a day now instead of, and the doctor's expecting to get rid of those too. Get me insulin.
Well, my question to you would be, if there's a client that is type 1 diabetic, what would you say would be the first thing to just get started? Because like you had to get 6 times the medication. What would you say would be like just the first, I guess the first step? I know they say just to do it, but maybe some words of wisdom from you as far as, you know, what you had seen Sherry and her husband, but what advice once they do start on the program that really helped you? Because I have a client that is starting. They barely ordered. They're thinking about it actually. So I want to show them this recording. So if you can give me maybe just a brief, what did you do to start, and just some advice for somebody that's starting that's type 1 diabetic.
Okay, first of all, I'm type 2.
Okay.
1 I'm not familiar with. There are 2 different types of diabetes.
Okay, so
and usually a type 1 is a little more complicated. That much I know. So, you know, I would suggest, first of all, that they talk to their doctor. In my situation, I had been speaking with my physicians about what I could do to get some of this weight off, and had mentioned this program to my endocrinologist who takes care of my diabetic needs. And he was kind of like, you know, give it a shot if everything's nutritionally balanced. And then the main thing is you need to be, for someone who's a diabetic, they really need to be on board with their physician, and they need to monitor what they're doing really well. They should be doing that anyway. But definitely stay in contact with their medical provider. Don't just go at it haphazard.
And I guess my question was, like, once you have that okay by the doctor and the supervision, like, what's one thing that you would say that you started to do that helped you? Like, did you start, I don't know, something that you must have done to just get you into the habit of something new once you started? Because that's a big deal. You're off of, you were on 6 medication, and then boom, you know, you're on 2.
Right. Like I said, I knew I was dying, and the only thing I knew was that I needed to get the weight off, and you've got to be committed to do it. You know, if they want to be healthy, you know, you have to be committed to do it. And that was my big aha thing, was when I'm taking 6 shots. I mean, I've gone from oral medications, just taking a pill or two a day, to handfuls of pills, and now sticking myself 6 times with a needle through the day. You know, then I get the heart complications on top of it. You know, that was my aha. I'm killing myself here. And, you know, I committed to doing the program. I don't know how else to put it.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. Congratulations.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Lucy asked and that Sarah's answer was about her physician, because Sarah would definitely be one of my clients that really did make me a little bit nervous about, like, I am not qualified to help her with the medical stuff she had going on. So we really, like, the fact that she was already in contact with her doctor. If you have someone who isn't already in contact, that's the first thing you want to tell them. So I never really needed to worry that I was responsible for her real medical health. I was just there to guide the mental and the new habits, because her and her doctor were really good about, because we just, you know, that's not our job here. Our job is to guide and coach so that once they're committed, so I just love it that y'all brought that point up, because we really did talk about that in the beginning to make sure that she was taking responsibility and her doctors were very on board, because it was a scary thing when you have that much oxygen and heart. And I mean, it was a scary thing for me. So it's so exciting that we're here doing it right now.
And it really helps to have everything nutritionally balanced, because I didn't have to worry about how much sodium intake I was taking. I didn't have to worry about the calories. Because it's all in the plan, and it's all right there on the labels. And the doctors were looking at this going, this is fantastic. You know, these are the amounts you need to sustain your life and healthily, to lose weight in a healthy manner. So, you know, like I said, my recommendation is contact their doctor and go for it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sarah and Cindy, both. You guys did a great job sharing your stories. And this call every week is going to basically be that, you know, clients just sharing their own personal journey and asking questions so that you guys can, you know, get inspired by other people who are actually having success, but also have the opportunity to ask questions for your own journey if you need that. And then we're going to share a habit of the health for the week every week, just to have a little education too, if you're not reading the book yet. So the habit of the week for this week is sleep. Okay, so the idea that everybody needs to have 7 or 8 hours of sleep every single night, because your body really actually needs that to better manage stress, to better digest your food, and to have more just peace and clarity, and your body just really needs to have. So if you are not aware of the fact that you need that, and that's a really healthy part of losing weight and having more energy, is that you do need 7 or 8 hours of sleep. I'm going to encourage you to talk to your coach about that this week if you don't already have that as a routine, because there are some things you can work on for your nighttime routine, as well as just adding that into your schedule if that's something that you struggle with or you need help with. The other thing is, I really want to encourage everyone to, you know, encourage friends, family, anyone that you know that is struggling with healthy habits or their health in general, you know, to join us on these Thursday night calls. They are welcome to just come and listen. They're not ever needing to try to get someone to do something. But, you know, if you sit here like Cindy and I and Sarah and probably many others on the call, and your life is getting completely changed. Like, you really, like in my case, healthy body, healthy finances, and healthy mind. I mean, everything. Like Cindy said, people notice, wow, why are you so much happier? Why do you have so much more energy? So the weight is just a side effect of how your whole life gets better. And then when you get to help other people like Sarah and Cindy, you just have so much positive reinforcement for just helping other people. So like I said, if there's people in your life that you care about and they aren't really ready to do something about it, this is a wonderful way to just have people support you, know more about what you're doing, and also get some information, because sometimes our minds aren't ready, and we can listen and digest, and it can help us on our own journey. So I just encourage you to invite as many people as you want. And if you ever end up leading or speaking, which is just a really great way to say, please help support me on my call, because I'm nervous about speaking or I'm nervous about leading. And then they can get on and support you, and it's not as much about them. So it's just a wonderful way to share for our own journeys. I get really inspired by all of you, and then to bring other people along too. It's kind of how the whole Paying It Forward works. And we are going to work on having these calls be just 30 minutes every single week, but it will be every Thursday, exact same number, exact same time. And we do have just a few minutes left. So does anyone have any last minute questions about any of the speakers or anything in general about our program?
I just wanted to ask Sarah, being diabetic, did you start on the 5, 2, and 1, or what plan did you start with?
I started with the 5 and 1.
Okay.
And then a couple times when my numbers really started going down, I did add an extra lean in.
Okay.
Here towards the end of this year, I've in the last few months. Not every day, just every once in a while. Like I said, I monitor very closely, not only my diabetic numbers, but my blood pressure and my oxygen intake and all this. I mean, you're talking about a log keeper here. So,
Yeah. So when you say your numbers went down, you mean your blood sugar?
My blood sugar, my blood pressure numbers, and by getting all that weight and water out of my body, my oxygen level actually increased. All of that was putting weight on my lungs to where I couldn't breathe.
Okay.
And so now my oxygen intake is up. Now I'm getting into exercise like Garrett.
I had something to say real quick. First of all, congratulations to both of you ladies. Awesome stories. And I mean, amazing to follow through with what you're doing. You know, a lot of people don't follow through. So great job. I mean, you are an inspiration for myself as a coach and other people on this call. But Sarah, I still remember the first call that we did where you were able to walk around Walmart without your oxygen. And it still gives me the chills when we had that call. So, you know, it's those little things, you know, we focus so much on the scale, and it's those kind of things that make the biggest difference in the world. You know, it's a way of life, you know, and if we're not keeping up with it, it does creep up with, you know, and we are slowly killing ourselves. So it's crazy.
Right.
But to touch on what Lucy asked also, so for a type 1 diabetic, usually a type 1 diabetic will do a 5, 2, and 2 on our program. And they add another starch in also. So, you know, it's great, like everybody's talked about, to stay connected with your physician and also use nutritional support, because they're going to align each thing together. And that's some of the great tools that we have. And then it's our job as a coach to just work together with the clients. And, you know, there's so much knowledge that we learn working with you guys. It just makes it fun, awesome, and helps me be accountable for my own maintenance here, which is not always easy. So thank you all. I want to thank every one of you on this call.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you all for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you all next Thursday, same time, same place.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. I'm going to turn this thing off.